Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Tuesday, August 16th. Firstly, looking to how the various markets performed today, and the worst performer in the equity space was the Russell 2000, down 0.86%. That was the market, or the index that was up the most over the last couple of days. The Nasdaq saw some selling today as well, 0.62%, as did all of the equity space. The S&P down 0.55% and the Dow down 0.45%. We have seen gold see a flow of capital into that asset class. GLD ETF is up 0.49%, not strong, no strong flow of capital there. But TLT, 20 plus year Treasury bond fund, is down 0.27%. And if we look at the sectors, most of the sectors were down except for a few. The utilities sector was down minus 1.18% and it has been very weak in recent times, and it does suggest that we certainly aren't seeing any flow of capital into the utility sector within the equity space as a safe haven. Now firstly to the S&P 500, and selling in this market today, a black body candle, sellers in control, and that followed the market testing to major high at 2193, getting close to that round number 2200, which may have started to exert its effect. The selling here has been the strongest selling that we've seen for quite some time, with the sellers in control at the end of the trading day and in control for the whole of the day by opening up the high and closing at the low. This strong build of momentum will probably see the market interacting with the Tenkan over the next day or two, and that will be an important benchmark for us moving forward. If we do, if we do close in a bearish manner down through there, we could very easily over the next day or two test down to the Kijun-sen, which we will be watching very closely to hold as support, and then just down below there, the window that was opened up previously that hasn't been closed, we have traded through there, we haven't closed through there, will be an important area. And if we do see a close down through there, and importantly a bearish close, we certainly could see the S&P trading significantly to the downside. And just looking at that pattern that we were watching previously, an inverted triangle. We didn't make, when we made swing lows down here, we didn't test down to those lower lows, so it's not a copybook pattern, but the important thing here was that that upper barrier was respected, and there is an opportunity here for the market to test back down to this lower barrier, so we will be watching at the moment down around 2135. If we do see strong selling in this market, we could then see a bounce off that area, but these patterns are very, very hard to trade. I suggest that if we do see a bearish close down below the lower barrier, that we then could see this market extending down quite a bit further and testing down towards the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. Now importantly, over the next month or so, the Ichimoku cloud does move significantly higher, and it will provide a very solid base and very thick base of support as we move further into the next month. And at the moment, in the next couple of days, the Ichimoku cloud is quite thin, but then becomes very thick. Moving to the bands with the S&P on the daily charts, and closing back within the bands in a bearish manner does suggest that that strongish bullish tone that we saw previously is no longer in the market. Previous couple of days we saw the upper band holding as support, and we have breached there. It does suggest that we may see this market attempt to mean revert back towards the middle of the bands, around 2170, 2173 roughly. Importantly, if we look at the bands, whilst we were trading outside of the upper band, we didn't see the bands widen significantly, and that suggested that there certainly was a distinct lack of strength to this trend to the upside, even though we were trading outside of the bands. And we know that from these very couple of strong candles and then some indecisive candles and a moderately weak candle, and the market flowing between this indecision and this weak bullishness and weak bearishness. So quite a bit of indecision in this market, and as we were testing to these highs, and certainly weren't making these major highs in a convincing manner. If we do breach down through the middle of the bands, looking to support to come in at the lower band at 2165, it will be an important benchmark. If we do see a bearish breakout through there with strong bearish follow through on the market trading through this swing low down around 2147, we then could see further strong development of the trend to the downside. But at the moment it is still early days, and we could see the market bounce here and trade up through the upper band. At the moment, a neutral market. Next to the Nasdaq 100 on the Ichimoku charts, and still a strong market here, trading above each of the Ichimoku indicators, finding resistance up above 48.16, establishing a major high the previous day, 48.37, but the sellers coming into the market off the back of a loss of commitment where we saw the buyers lose control of the market on that candle. If we do see continuation of the trend to the downside, looking to the Tenkan-sen to hold a strong support as it has done in recent times, and that will be an important benchmark. 47.78 is where it trades, and just down below there, this window that was open up, extending down to 47.49, will be an important area of potential support. Just watching the bands very closely with the Nasdaq 100, and support today at the upper band, so suggesting that we have a retracement going on, and in the recent times we have seen that band hold as support, so there is a possibility of the buyers returning into this market off that support. But if we look at the last few times that we tested there, we did see the sellers losing commitment and the buyers return into the market. But on this candle we have a build of momentum, so very important trading coming up over the next day. If we do trade in a bearish manner within the bands, we could easily retrace back towards the middle of the bands at 47.40. To the Dow 30, and selling in this market today, sellers in control, strong commitment, and the weakest day in terms of the upside price action for today, with this being a largish black body candle in relative terms, and certainly the sellers have found some strength here. There is a possibility of the market testing lower, but looking to the Tenkan-sen to potentially act as support. It trades roughly about the 18,500 level. Just below there we have the Kijun-sen trading 18,458, which may provide strong support. We do still have a bull market in all three timeframes. A little bit disappointing in how the market traded through this previous swing high. We did establish a new high, but the close above there was rather weak. And this suggests that in this time frame here we have potential for a double top pattern to form, but it won't be complete until we do trade down through the intervening trough here, which is around the 18,246 level. Next to the Russell 2000, and following the strong buying of the previous day's trading, the market finding resistance at the 12.43 level, we have seen a similar amount of selling coming into the market. The sellers in control breaching through the previous resistance level 12.33, which had an opportunity to act as support, and the market has closed down through there in a bearish manner. This suggests that we certainly could see further downside. Now technically we haven't had a change of trend here, but what we see here is a potential bearish harami pattern, and as always we do require confirmation, and also in bar chart terms a potential hook reversal pattern, and these can be fairly strong and significant reversals, so looking for confirmation of that. As always, confirmation required. We do have very strong support down below where the market's trading over, but this build of momentum does suggest we certainly will end up trading to these levels, but we need to watch how the market reacts around these areas. Firstly, the Tenkan-sen trading at 1227.9, then just down below there 1225, down through to the Kijun-sen, which trades around 1217. In terms of Ichimoku, still just a slightly bullish market in the short term, bullish in the medium, and certainly quite strongly bullish in that longer term time frame, and this bullishness is supported by the Chikou span. So this is suggesting that any pullback that we see may be only temporary. We look at the market making a series of higher peaks and higher troughs here, and we have seen pullbacks here previously, and we'll be looking for support to come in at one of these areas and the buyers to return.